to another episode of Throwing It Back with Sean Farrell. I am Sean Farrell. God is great all the time. All the time, God is great. Jesus Christ died and he rose again. Let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? Okay. So, the Bird McHale Parish era, as the Bird McHale Parish era was winding down, they got screwed over in the 1990 and 91 playoffs. Okay. What I mean, they got a lot of bad calls. They were playing the Knicks in the first round of the 1990 playoffs. Okay. And they got a lot of bad calls. So just to give you a little bit of taste of the bad calls they got, Bird made an inbound pass to McHale standing in the corner. Kevin McHale drained a three, but Hugh Hollins ruled. But Hugh Hollins, who was on the top side of the play, ruled the ball was out of bounds. So they showed replays. McHale wasn't out of bounds. Bird got some bad calls. Reggie Lewis got some bad calls. And so basically the Celtics should have swept the series in 1990, but they got a lot of bad calls in the fourth quarter. Okay. Then Kenny Walker ended up hitting the game-winning shot. And the Knicks won game 4. Then the Knicks won game 5, which Jimmy Rogers got fired after the season. Okay. So now we move on to 1991, where the Celtics are in the Eastern Conference semifinals. And they're down 18 to the Detroit Pistons in game 6. The Celtics come back. Okay. And they got robbed on a bad call again. When late in the game, Kevin McHale had a tip in, but the referees ruled it offensive interference. Okay. Kevin McHale had a tip in, but the referees ruled it offensive interference. Game goes into overtime. Celtics lose. Okay. And so let's fast forward to 1993. Okay. They're playing the Hornets in the first round. Okay. Hornets lead 2-1. Alonzo Mourning hits what appears to be the game winner. Okay. But it wasn't the game winner. Okay. There was still 0.4 seconds left on the clock. And there was talk that this was Kevin McHale's last game, which it was. It was Kevin McHale's last game he would play. Okay. So Alonzo Mourning appears to hit the game winner. Fans, cheerleaders, players, coaches, Hornets players rush out to the court. Referees have to get the players off. Still 0.4 seconds left, which is time for a lob in the NBA. Okay. So I talked about the controversial ending real briefly. Okay. But I wouldn't. But man, it looks even more amazing. It looks even more amazing the more I look at it. Okay. And so I looked at that, and I said that is a crappy way for Kevin McHale's career to end. Nonetheless, here it is.
LA 108-106 in Game 7 for their 11th NBA title. Let's see if there's some Celtic magic left. One more look at Alonzo Mourning. Well, the one thing about it is Bill Curry took his time, did not just fire the ball inbounds. The biggest thing is to get the ball in, and Mourning finds the open area. X-Man with a hand in the face. Nothing but the bottom of the net. 0.4 left. For the Celtics coming out on the court is D. Brown, Rick Fox, Jay Xavier McDaniel. Steve Brown is now going over and sitting down. And McGamble, McHale, McDaniel, Parrish, and Fox. How important was that backcourt violation when there was only 3 seconds and they didn't get a shot up? It cost them 14 seconds in the possession. So that play was a major play. McHale,
Here it comes.
inbounds
Here
right
it comes.
in front of us.
Here it comes.
Charlotte out of timeouts. Gamble on the far side, standing right in front of the Celtic bench. Fox is deep. Deep Brown has now come in. He's taken Parrish out. Deep Brown, the lob to Brown. Oh, he doesn't get it. The ball was touched. That ball was touched, Ron. It's the same play they ran in game 2. That ball was touched. And Chris Ford is absolutely livid. We got to see that again. That ball looked like it was touched. We will look at it again. The officials are not going to change their mind. The Charlotte Hornets have become the first of the recent expansion teams to win. Look at Kevin McHale. Is this the way his career is going to end? An NBA playoff series. 104-103 is the final. But boy, what a controversial ending. Jaminski, the big hug for McHale. Look at the respect of Alonzo Mourning with Kevin McHale. Rob, see if this ball was touched. It looked like someone came over, and as the ball hit the backboard, we see the emotion of Kevin McHale as he walks off the floor. Will this be his last time in a Boston Celtic uniform? All right, now watch. The lob pass, the great screen, the catch. Oh, right there, the tip by Larry. Was that Larry Johnson or Kendall Gill? That was Kendall Gill. Kendall Gill. We'll take a look at it one more time as the partying continues. Great pass. There it is. Wow. Very close. Wow. Very, very close. But that is the man who hit the big shot with 4.
Yeah, I would say that's a pretty happy way for your career here to end on a call like that. It looked like the ball was touched, right? It kind of did look like the ball was touched, right? But yeah, that's a controversial ending, and needless to say, that is a pretty happy ending to Kevin McHale's career, okay? But it's the NBA where weird stuff happens all the time, okay? So also want to get to this. Now, Michael Jordan is used to be being booed, okay? Hold on. All right. That ain't it. All right. Give me 1 minute. There we go. Okay, cool. So, okay, so almost there. Okay. Okay, so I was gonna go in year by year order, but I'm just gonna wait until it get hits to the part where I want to. But I'm gonna start hard with Kobe Bryant rather than my Michael Jordan. Okay, so players that used to be being booed at the All-Star game. All-Star game. I just spoiled it, right? I just spoiled it, right? So players are used to being booed in the media arenas. Okay, um, but there was a time where Michael Jordan was booed at the All-Star game. Okay, believe it or not, he was booed at the All-Star game. I'm about to show you why in a minute. Um, there was a time where Karl Malone was booed at All-Star weekend. Okay. Oh, here it comes right here. Okay. So I will start with my Michael Jordan. And then there was a time that Kobe Bryant was booed at the All-Star game. Okay. So the reason why Michael Jordan was booed at the 1996 All-Star game is because the fans felt Shaq should have been MVP. Okay. That was the way the fans felt about it. The fans felt Shaq should have been MVP, and they didn't appreciate the fact that Michael was named MVP. So he got booed for it. Okay. Now I don't know if they were booing MJ or booing the fact that he was MVP, but they booed MJ. Okay, and even Michael said it himself. He thought Shaq should have got MVP. Right.
Most valuable player award. Let's go to Ahmad Rashad. It is now time to make the presentation to this year's NBA All-Star MVP, and to make that presentation, the commissioner of the NBA, David Stern. Thank you, San Antonio, for being such gracious hosts and hostesses, and thank you, Michael Jordan, for winning your second MVP, 20 points, 4 rebounds. It's nice to have you back. Congratulations. All right, Michael, this time, it seemed to me you really enjoyed yourself this time. I had a good time, man. Quite naturally, it's unexpected. You know, I had a good time. I think everybody had a good time. Shaq played extremely well. I thought he was the MVP. I think he could have easily been. David Robinson, I think you were a great host. I think this weekend turned out to be a great weekend, and I had a good time. All right, congratulations to you. Thank you. All right, back to you, Mark. Well, a humble statement from Michael Jordan.
Marv had something to say.
Guys, as I said all along, I felt Jordan is the MVP. 20 points in 22 minutes for Michael. Back in the Alamo City,
Yeah. So you heard the boos from Michael Jordan as he was being named All-Star Game MVP in the 1996 All-Star Game. You know, you heard him. Shaq should have been MVP. Well, had not. Okay. So let's move on to Karl Malone. Okay. In the 1997 All-Star Game. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Okay, so it's coming up right now. So the 97 All-Star Game, at halftime, they were introducing the 50 greatest players in NBA history. Okay. They were introducing 50 greatest players. And I believe after they introduced Scottie Pippen, Karl Malone came up next. And they booed Karl Malone. I remember that.
ladies and gentlemen, the guards. And now here are the forwards. From the Chicago Bulls, number 33, Scottie Pippen.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
Originally from the Philadelphia 76ers, number 34,
Oh.
Charles Barkley.
Oh, not yet. Not yet. Okay.
From the Utah Jazz, number 32, the mailman, Karl Malone. From the Los Angeles Lakers, number 42, James.
It was kind of hard to hear it. But yeah. But yeah, they booed Karl. They booed Karl Malone. And now let's move on to Kobe Bryant, okay? The 2002 All-Star Game was in Philadelphia, Kobe's hometown. Kobe's dad played for the Philadelphia 76ers, okay? And so Kobe Bryant went back to his hometown, put on a pretty good show. And this is what happened next when they gave Kobe Bryant the All-Star Game MVP. Here it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to center court and NBC's Ahmad Rashad.
All right, it is now time to make the presentation for this year's All-Star Most Valuable Player Award. And to make that presentation, here's the commissioner of the NBA, David Stern.
Thank you, Philadelphia, for staging a spectacular All-Star week, and a great game it was. And tonight, with 31 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists, the star of stars of the greatest players in the world was the 2002 MVP, Kobe Bryant.
Kobe. 24 of the best players in the world here tonight. You are the star of the star tonight. Had to make you feel good.
Yeah, it feels good. It feels good to come home. I know the fans are, booing, but nonetheless, it feels good to come home and play in front of the home crowd, and had a chance to go back to the high school and see my family, and it's good to be here.
Well, a little different coming in here, the world champion Lakers, having beaten this team in the finals. It's a little different in here.
Yeah, it's a little different, but, home is home, and I enjoy coming back. Even though the reception isn't that warm, I still enjoy coming back.
You had a great game, Kobe. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, back to you, Marv.
All right, thanks, Ahmad. Well, Kobe Bryant won an NBA title on this floor. He now wins an All-Star Game MVP trophy on this floor, although the reaction has not been friendly back in his hometown.
Yeah. Now, I would find it hard. Now, most of y'all will find it hard to believe that Michael was booed at the All-Star Game, but he was. Karl Malone being booed, Kobe Bryant being booed. Yeah. And I guess when Kobe came back to Philadelphia, I guess they didn't show him brotherly love. They booed him so loud when he got the All-Star Game MVP. It was like, oh man. So, yeah. Okay. So, finally, Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant. Okay. So, I saw this story. I saw his story by Basketball Network. The headline says, that wasn't the only example of Michael's hypocrisy. Scottie Pippen agrees with Horace Grant, calling Michael Jordan a damn snitch. Okay, so Scottie Pippen in his memoir criticized Jordan's handling of the spotlight and pointed to moments that showed what he saw as double standards. One of those moments involved Horace Grant and a claim that has stuck around for decades. Okay, so this is a excerpt from Scottie Pippen's book, Unclaimed. By the way, I'm going to have to read it so I can laugh at all the things he says. You want to know what selfish is? Selfish is retiring right before the start of training camp, when it's too late for the organization to sign free agents, Pippen wrote. That wasn't the only example of Michael's hypocrisy. He called out Horace Grant for supposedly having been the source for Sam Smith's 1991 bestseller, The Jordan Rules. which revealed what went on behind closed doors in the months leading up to our first championship. Yet in the documentary, Michael mentioned that as a rookie, he witnessed teammates one day in the hotel using coke and smoking weed. Okay. And so Horace Grant had something to say. Hey, no. Okay. Pippen also said, Horace put it best in a radio interview. If you want to call somebody a snitch, that's a damn snitch right there. Horace Grant went on to say, my point is, he said that I was a snitch. But yet and still, after 35 years, he brings up his rookie year, going into one of his teammates' rooms and seeing coke and weed and women. My point is, why the hell did he want to bring that up? What's that got to do with anything? Okay. Okay. So, remember the video I posted about Horace Grant's blow up before the 1993 Heat season? Because he thought Jordan and Pippen, because he thought there was a double standard, okay? Jordan and Pippen had spent the whole summer playing with the Dream Team, but Horace Grant had the whole summer off. Horace Grant had the entire summer off after winning the NBA championship, but Jordan and Pippen had to go right into the Olympics. And Phil Jackson gave his two stars some time off during training camp, okay? And that didn't sit well with Horace Grant, who blew up, okay? And so, yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say on that. I will say this though. There were some, according to what I read somewhere, there were people in the Bulls organization who said Michael Jordan would call Horace Grant dummy right to his face. Okay. And that's what he called Horace Grant, dummy. Okay. So I don't know if that's true or not. I read it somewhere. Okay. But apparently Michael Jordan had a certain nickname for Horace Grant, dummy. Okay. And some of y'all might think he's a dummy for criticizing Jordan. By the way, Dave Corzine actually came out and criticized Jordan too. All right. And I'm going to do a video on that a little later. But I just think Scottie Pippen is better. And I think Horace Grant is a bit hitter too. But hey. All right. That's it. And that's all. Throwing it back. I am out of here. Peace out. May God bless.